Yeah, go swim. Running my own business has changed my life because it's given me this piece of property that I had a dream my whole life to own something like this, to have my own horses on my own property, and I never thought it would be true. But now I get up every day and the dogs are here and I play with the dogs and I do the horses, and the work is just so great because the rewards are worth my efforts more than any job that I could go to could ever be. So self-employment is just incredible.
Most of the people in the program are not natural entrepreneurs. They worked in a company for many years, they have that skill set. They worked in trades, they have that skill set. They worked in business and have skills. But they don't know how to operate a business, and making the change from an employee to self-employed is gigantic. And the program helps them make that move. And besides teaching them business skills, they also make the move to being their own boss.
Before I started my business, I struggled from one minimum wage job to the next. I didn't have a lot of job experience. I was lots of things I could do, but it was always minimum wage jobs, and no job without experience and no experience without a job. I always knew that I wanted to be self-employed and was destined for something better, but I just had to find out what it was. The program was great because it helped me step by step, and not only that, it gave me somebody behind me that had faith in me and that was backing me.
Joyce had a ton of knowledge and a ton of information, a ton of passion. What Joyce didn't have was necessarily the structure in her own mind worked out.
This really helps them put together a business and implement that business plan so that they can start providing for their family, start making money right away. A lot of the people in the program have said this is like an MBA in a box.
They start to feel empowered with information, empowered with new relationships. Most of the people that we work with, over 95% success rate, come out being much more empowered.
In the early days of Shinezilla, I had headed to a customer's house with a job already been discussed over the phone. When I arrived, he'd offered me half the money to do the job.
I gave Mike boilerplate burn advice, which was to hold his price.
I said, I can't do this job for half the price or even reduce the amount of work.
You had a moment of doubt. When you're starting a business, there's always a cash flow shortage, and there's always a temptation to take whatever comes along.
The day I didn't take that job, I had the biggest phone call of Shinezilla's time, where I'd landed a very large customer. And if I had have taken the first job at a reduced rate, I would have never met this client.
About a year later, the client called back and said, "Can you still do that job at the original price I quoted?" And since then, the client's become a raving fan and recommended him to lots of people.
I've restored boats to maintain family heritage. I've brought brand new boats back from extreme damage, and the feeling's great to create such a piece of art that someone's going to drive and have pride in.
When they leave, they are much more confident in selling their product or service and much more confident in their sales skills.
Oh, I do love to get out there and get around with the animals and stuff, and spend time with the dogs. It's all very rewarding. Sometimes you fall into bed at night and you're just exhausted, but I still can't wipe the smile off my face sometimes at 11 o'clock at night. So that's just perfect.